name is Lucy. My parents always loved her more. She is beautiful. I am plain. Now, she wants my boyfriend too. This is my story. It is not a happy story at the beginning. But please, listen. Maybe you will understand. I have a sister. Her name is Clara. She is 1 year older than me. To me, she feels 1,000 years older. She is tall. Her hair is like gold. Her eyes are blue, like the summer sky. When she smiles, everyone smiles with her. People say she is like sunshine. I am not like sunshine. I am more like a quiet afternoon. My hair is brown. My eyes are brown. I am not tall. I am not short. I am just me. I am Lucy. And for most of my life, being Lucy was not enough. When we were little girls, our house was full of pictures. All the pictures were of Clara. Clara on her first day of school. Clara with a big birthday cake. Clara winning a prize for her dancing. There was one picture of me. I was in the background, behind Clara. You could only see half of my face. Our parents loved us. I know they did. But they loved us in different ways. They loved Clara with a loud voice. They would say, "Oh, Clara, you are so clever. You are so beautiful." Their love for her was a big, bright light. Their love for me was quiet. It was a small candle in a dark room. They would say, "Lucy, you are a good girl. You are so quiet." They never said I was beautiful. They never said I was clever. I was just good and quiet. I learned to be quiet. I learned to be good. I stayed in my room. I read books. The people in my books were my friends. They did not have beautiful sisters. They had adventures. I dreamed of adventures, but I was too scared to have them. I was just quiet, good Lucy. Clara had many friends. They were always at our house. They would laugh and play loud music. I would stay in my room and listen. Sometimes I wanted to go out and join them, but I was shy. I felt small next to Clara. She was the sun. I was just a little star, far away. One day, it was my birthday. I was 10 years old. I wanted a blue bicycle. I told my mother and father for weeks. I want a blue bicycle, a shiny blue bicycle. I dreamed about it every night. On my birthday morning, I ran downstairs. There was a big box. It was for me. I opened it. It was a set of books, very nice books, but it was not a bicycle. My father said, "Lucy, you love to read. These are for you." I smiled. I said, "Thank you." I was a good girl. I did not complain. Then Clara came downstairs. She said, "Happy birthday, Lucy." She was holding a small box. But then my parents pointed to the backyard. "Clara, we have a surprise for you too," my mother said. We all went outside. In the backyard, there was a new bicycle. It was pink. It had ribbons on the handlebars. It was for Clara. "But it's my birthday," I said. My voice was very small. My mother said, "We know, sweetie. But Clara got very good grades at school. We are so proud of her." We wanted to celebrate. Clara hugged them. She jumped on her new pink bicycle. She rode around the yard, laughing. Her golden hair flew behind her. I stood there holding my books. My heart felt heavy. It was my birthday, but the sun was shining on Clara. It always did. I went back to my room. I did not cry. I just sat on my bed. I was quiet. That was the day I started to feel something new. It was a cold, hard feeling in my chest. I think it was hate. Years passed. We grew up. Clara was still the sun. I was still the shadow. She was the captain of the cheerleading team. She was the prom queen. Every boy in school wanted to date her. I was in the library club. I had one friend. Her name was Sarah. She was quiet like me. We ate lunch together. We talked about books. It was a small, safe life. I liked it. It was my life. After high school, Clara went to a big university in a different city. The house was quiet. For the first time, I felt like I could breathe. My parents missed her. They talked about her all the time. I wonder what Clara is doing. I hope Clara is happy. But they started to see me a little more. My father would ask me, "How was your day, Lucy?" My mother would cook my favorite meal sometimes. It was nice. I was still quiet. I was still good. But I was not just a shadow anymore. I was Lucy. I did not go to a big university. I stayed in our town. I went to the local college. I studied to be a librarian. It was a quiet job, a good job. It was perfect for me. I also got a part-time job at a small cafe. It was called the Corner Brew. I made coffee for people. I liked it. I liked the smell of coffee. I liked the quiet mornings. One morning, a man came into the cafe. He was tall. He had kind eyes. His smile was warm. He ordered a black coffee. He came in every day after that. Every day, a black coffee. He started to talk to me. He asked my name. He told me his name was Mark. He worked in an office nearby. He liked books. He liked quiet afternoons. He liked me. I could not believe it. Someone liked me, not Clara, me, Lucy. Mark was different. He was not loud. He was not like the boys who liked Clara. He was calm and gentle. He listened to me. He asked me about my books. He laughed at my small jokes. He saw me. He really saw me. He asked me out on a date. I was so nervous. I did not know what to wear. I did not know what to say. I almost said no. The old, quiet Lucy wanted to hide. But a new part of me, a small, brave part, said yes. We went for a walk in the park. The leaves were orange and yellow. It was beautiful. We talked for hours. I was not shy with him. I felt safe. I felt happy. Mark became my boyfriend. It was a new feeling for me, having someone who was mine. Someone who chose me. I loved him so much. My heart, which was always so heavy, felt light. For 2 years, my life was good. It was simple and quiet, but it was mine. I had my job at the library. I had my small apartment. And I had Mark. I was 24 years old. I was finally happy. Then one day, my mother called me. Lucy, guess what? Clara is coming home. My heart stopped. The light feeling disappeared. The cold, heavy feeling came back. She finished her studies, my mother said. She is coming back to live here for a while. Isn't that wonderful? Yes, I said, wonderful. But I did not feel that it was wonderful. I felt scared. Clara came home. She was more beautiful than ever. She had a new, stylish haircut. She wore expensive clothes. She hugged me. Lucy, I missed you so much. You look the same. She said it with a smile, but it felt like a little stone she threw at me. You look the same. Plain, quiet, good. My parents were so happy. The house was full of life again, full of Clara's life. They made her a big welcome home dinner. All her old friends came. The house was loud with laughter. I sat in a corner. Mark was next to me. He held my hand. Are you okay? He asked. I'm fine, I said. But I was not fine. I felt like that 10-year-old girl again, standing in the backyard, watching my sister ride her new bicycle. My mother said, everyone, I want you to meet Lucy's boyfriend, Mark. Mark stood up. He smiled his kind smile. Everyone said hello. Then Clara walked over. She stood in front of Mark. She gave him her brightest smile, the sunshine smile. So you're the one who finally captured my little sister's heart, she said. Her voice was like honey. It's so nice to meet you, Mark. She touched his arm. It was a small touch, but I saw it. I saw everything. I saw the way she looked at him. I saw the way her eyes sparkled. It was the same way she looked at everything she wanted. Mark was just polite. He said, It's great to meet you too, Clara. Lucy has told me a lot about you. All good things, I hope, she said, laughing. She did not look at me. She only looked at him. The night continued. Clara was the center of attention, as always. She told exciting stories about her life in the big city. She made everyone laugh. I sat and watched. Mark sat with me, but I could feel him watching her too. Everyone watched her. It was impossible not to. The next few weeks were hard. Clara was always there. She did not have a job yet, so she was always at our parents' house. When I went to visit, she was there. When Mark came with me, she was there. She was so nice to him, too nice. She would say, Mark, you are so smart. Can you help me with my computer? Or, Mark, you have such good taste in music. Can you make me a playlist? She would accidentally call him instead of me. Oh, oops. I dialed the wrong number. But since I have you on the phone, I told Mark. It made me uncomfortable. He held my face in his hands. Lucy, she is your sister. She is just being friendly. She's trying to get to know me. That's a good thing, right? I wanted to believe him. I really did. I told myself I was being silly. I was just jealous. I was used to being the shadow. It was hard to stand in the light. But then things got worse. Clara started borrowing my things. My sweaters, my books. She would take them without asking. One day, I was looking for my favorite blue sweater. I couldn't find it. The next day, I saw a picture of Clara on social media. She was wearing my sweater. She was out with her friends, laughing. She looked beautiful in it, better than I did. I was angry. I went to her room. "Clara, that's my sweater." She looked up from her phone. She was not sorry. "Oh, this old thing. It was just in the laundry. I thought it was Mom's. It looks better on me anyway, don't you think?" She smiled that perfect smile. I didn't know what to say. I just took the sweater and left. I felt small and stupid. She started to talk about me to Mark, but not in a mean way, in a clever way. We were all having dinner together. Mark was talking about a new book he was reading. Clara said, "Oh, Lucy loves books." She spent her whole childhood locked in her room reading. She never wanted to go out and play. She was always so serious. She laughed, as if it was a funny joke. My parents laughed too. "That's true," my father said. "Our little bookworm." It made me feel like I was boring. It made my quiet life seem sad. Mark looked at me. He had a strange expression on his face. I felt my cheeks get hot. Another time, we planned a date. Mark and I were going to a movie. I was excited. I bought a new dress. It was a simple green dress, but I felt pretty in it. An hour before our date, Clara called me. "Lucy, I have a crisis. My car won't start. I need a ride to my friend's house. It's an emergency." I said, "But I have a date with Mark." "Please, Lucy, it will only take a minute. You're my sister. You have to help me." So I called Mark. I told him I would be a little late. He said it was okay. I drove Clara to her friend's house. It was not close. It took 40 minutes. When I dropped her off, she gave me a big hug. "Thank you so much. You're the best sister ever. Have fun on your date." When I got to the movie theater, Mark was waiting. But the movie had already started. We missed the beginning. I felt terrible. The whole night felt wrong. Later, I found out there was no emergency. Clara just wanted to go to a party. She could have taken a taxi. She did it on purpose. She wanted to ruin my date. I tried to talk to Mark about it. "She is trying to cause problems for us." He sighed. "Lucy, I think you are tired. You are stressed. Your sister is home, and it's a big change. But you are seeing things that are not there. She is not a bad person." His words hurt more than anything Clara did. He did not believe me. He thought I was crazy. He was defending her. I felt so alone. The one person who was mine, the one person who saw me, was now looking at my sister. And he was starting to see me through her eyes. He was starting to see me as the serious, sensitive, difficult sister. The worst day came a month later. It was our parents' wedding anniversary. They were having a party at their house. I wanted to look nice. I spent a long time getting ready. I did my hair. I wore my green dress again. I wanted to feel confident. I wanted to feel like Mark's girlfriend. When we arrived, the party was already busy. I saw Clara immediately. She was standing by the fireplace, talking to a group of people. And she was talking to Mark. She was wearing a red dress. It was a beautiful dress, tight and bright. She looked like a movie star. I felt like a plain brown bird next to her. She was laughing, and she touched Mark's arm. Again, that little touch. It was her signature move. I walked over to them. I tried to smile. "Hi," I said. Mark turned to me. "Hey, you look great." But his eyes went back to Clara. Clara looked me up and down. "Oh, Lucy, that's a cute dress. Very simple." Then she turned back to Mark. Anyway, as I was saying, she started telling a story. It was a story about something that happened to her in the city. It was funny and exciting. Everyone was listening to her. I was standing right there, but I was invisible. I felt a wave of sadness wash over me. I wanted to leave. I wanted to go home to my quiet apartment and my books. But I stayed. I stayed for Mark. I tried to be part of the conversation. I tried to talk to people, but my voice felt too small. Later in the evening, I was looking for Mark. I couldn't find him. I went to the kitchen. He wasn't there. I went to the living room. He wasn't there. I went out to the backyard. It was dark. The party was inside. The backyard was quiet. And then I saw them, Mark and Clara. They were standing under the big oak tree at the end of the garden. The light from the house was behind them, so I could only see their shapes. They were talking. Their heads were close together. I saw Clara reach out and touch his face. She ran her finger down his cheek. My whole body went cold. It was like I was frozen. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. Then I saw Mark take a step back. He shook his head. I couldn't hear what they were saying, but I saw him step away from her. But it didn't matter. The image was burned into my mind. My sister, my boyfriend, together in the dark. I turned around and walked back into the house. I walked through the party. I didn't see anyone. I didn't hear anything. I just walked out the front door. I got in my car and I drove. I didn't know where I was going. Tears were streaming down my face. The cold, hard feeling in my chest was so big now. It felt like it was going to break me. She had won. Clara always won. She had my parents' love. She had all the friends. She had the beauty. She had the confidence. I had one thing, one person, and she was taking him too. I drove to my apartment. I locked the door. I sat on the floor in the dark. A while later, my phone rang. It was Mark. I didn't answer. He called again and again. Then he sent a text message. "Lucy, where are you? I'm worried. Please call me." I didn't reply. He came to my apartment. He knocked on the door. "Lucy, please open the door. We need to talk." I didn't move. I just sat there broken. "I saw you in the garden." I finally texted him. My hands were shaking. A minute later, he replied, "It's not what you think. Please let me explain." But I couldn't. I couldn't face him. I couldn't hear his excuses. All I could see was her hand on his face. He stayed outside my door for a long time. Eventually, he left. I did not sleep that night. I thought about my whole life. The birthday party, the pictures on the wall, the whispers of good, quiet Lucy. I saw that my whole life had been about my sister. I was always the other one, the one who was not Clara. And Mark, he was supposed to be different. He was supposed to see me. But in the end, he was like everyone else. He was blinded by the sun. The next morning, I made a decision. It was the hardest decision of my life, but I knew I had to do it. I packed a bag. I wrote a letter to my parents. I told them I needed to go away for a while. I did not say why. I wrote a letter to Mark. It was very short. Mark, I love you, but I cannot do this anymore. I cannot live in her shadow. I cannot fight for your attention. I need to find a place where I can just be Lucy. Goodbye. I left the letter on my kitchen table. I took my savings from the bank. I got in my car and I drove away. I drove for hours. I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I had to leave. I had to get away from Clara, from my family, from Mark, from everything. I ended up in a small town by the sea. I had never seen the ocean before. It was huge and powerful. I stood on the beach and watched the waves. They came in and went out, over and over. It was a steady, constant sound. It made my loud, messy thoughts feel a little quieter. I found a small room to rent above a bookstore. It was perfect. I was surrounded by books again. My old friends. I got a job at a small hotel cleaning rooms. It was hard work. It was not a glamorous job, but it was mine. No one knew me here. No one knew my sister. I was not Clara's sister. I was just Lucy. The first few months were very lonely. I cried a lot. I missed Mark so much. I thought about him every day. I wondered if he got my letter. I wondered if he tried to find me. Sometimes, the hate for my sister would come back. It would be a big, hot wave. I would think about her beautiful face and her easy smile. I would think about how she took everything that was ever good in my life. But slowly, things began to change. Living alone was hard, but it was also freeing. I had to learn how to do things by myself. I learned how to fix a leaky faucet. I learned how to cook for one. I learned that I was stronger than I thought. I started to explore the small town. I would take long walks on the beach. I collected seashells. I watched the sunrise over the ocean. The world was so big and beautiful. My problems felt smaller next to the sea. The woman who owned the bookstore was named Mrs. Gable. She was old and had kind eyes, like Mark's. She saw me reading in my room all the time. One day, she asked me to help her in the shop. So I started working at the bookstore. I loved it. I was back with my books. I recommended stories to people. I talked to them about characters and plots. I realized I was not as shy as I thought. I just needed to be in the right place. I made friends. Not many, but real ones. There was a young man who was a painter. There was a woman who made pottery. They were quiet people like me. They were not like Clara's friends. They didn't care about beautiful clothes or exciting parties. They cared about art and books and conversations. They liked me. They liked Lucy. For the first time, I felt like people saw me for who I was, and I started to see myself too. I looked in the mirror one day. I saw my brown hair and my brown eyes. I saw my quiet smile. And I didn't think I was plain. I thought I was me. And that was okay. It was more than okay. One day, I was working in the bookstore. The little bell on the door rang. I looked up. It was Mark. My heart jumped into my throat. I stood there, completely still. I couldn't speak. He looked tired. He was thinner than I remembered, but his eyes were the same, kind. "Lucy," he said. His voice was soft. "How did you find me?" I finally managed to say. "It wasn't easy," he said. "I called every library and bookstore in a 100-mile radius. I knew you would be near books." He took a step closer. "Can we talk?" I nodded. We went to a small cafe by the sea. We sat at a table outside. We could hear the waves. For a long time, we just sat in silence. I didn't know what to say. He was the one who finally spoke. "I got your letter," he said. "I was so stupid, Lucy. I was so blind." He told me what happened after I left. He said he went to my parents' house. He was angry. He confronted Clara. He asked her what she said to him in the garden that night. He told me she had told him that I was too fragile, that I couldn't handle a real relationship. She told him that he deserved someone more fun, more confident. Someone like her. "She tried to kiss me, Lucy," Mark said, his voice shaking a little. And I pushed her away. I told her I loved you, and I saw her face change. The sunshine was gone. Her eyes were cold. And for the first time, I saw the person you tried to tell me about. He told me he argued with my parents. They defended Clara. They said I was being too dramatic. They said I always overreacted. I realized then, Mark said, looking at me. I realized that you had been living with this your whole life. They never saw you. They only saw her. And I was doing the same thing. I was so caught up in her light that I didn't see how much it was hurting you. He reached across the table and took my hand. "I am so sorry, Lucy. I was wrong. I didn't protect you. I didn't listen to you. I broke your heart. I have missed you every single day for the last 6 months." Tears were rolling down my cheeks. But they were not sad tears. They were tears of relief. He saw it. He finally saw it. "I love you, Lucy," he said. "I don't love her. I never did. I love your quietness. I love your kindness. I love your strength. I love everything about you. Please, can you give me another chance?" I looked at him. I looked at his kind eyes. I saw the old Mark, the one who came into the coffee shop every morning. The one who loved books and quiet afternoons. And I looked at myself. I was not the same Lucy who ran away. I was stronger now. I had my own life, my own friends, my own job. I was not a shadow. I did not need him to be happy. But I still loved him. I'm not the same person, I said quietly. I'm not that scared girl anymore. I know, he said. And I don't want her back. I want you. The you that is sitting here right now. So I said yes. It was not a fairy tale ending. It was not perfect. We took things slow. He moved to the small town by the sea. He found a new job. He wanted to be in my world, not the other way around. We built a new life together. A quiet life. A good life. A life filled with books and walks on the beach and long conversations. I still talk to my parents, but it is different now. I have boundaries. I don't let them make me feel small. I have not seen Clara. She is still in our hometown. I hear she is dating someone new. I hope she is happy. I don't hate her anymore. I feel sad for her. She needs so much attention to feel good about herself. She doesn't know how to be alone. I learned that being alone is not a bad thing. It's where you find yourself. My name is Lucy. My story was sad at the beginning, but now it is a happy one. Not because a man saved me, but because I saved myself. I learned that my value does not come from my parents, or my sister, or a boyfriend. It comes from inside me. It was there all along. I just had to be quiet enough to hear it. Maybe you feel small sometimes. Maybe you feel like you are in someone's shadow. It is okay to feel that way. But please know this. You are not small. You are not a shadow. You are your own person. You have your own light. Sometimes, you just have to go to a new place to see it shine. You can do this. Keep going. You are stronger than you think.